Mr. Chairman, we are barking up the wrong tree if we are going to fault the regulated agencies like the NGCP and the Meralco. It is ERC. If there is any agency that we should fault here, and that's why if Chairman Dan Fernandez saying there is therefore, the consumers are therefore have the raw deal here, it's not the fault. That's why the regulated agencies, they wait for this year.
Ito na nga, pagmamarunong ni Dan Fernandez sa nabo ni Rodriguez. Fernandez nakatikim ng lecture. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Na-lecturean nga itong si Dan Fernandez matapos ang pagmamalabis nito sa loob ng pagdinig. Rufus Rodriguez, tinuruan si Fernandez sa tamang pamamaraan ng paglilitis. Narito ang buong detalye.
Former Commissioner no, kasi sinasabi niya, hindi na pwede i-correct kasi previous na tao. Bakit si Chairman Dimolanta, naayos niya lahat? So, ibig sabihin, interconnected niya, parang domino effect. Pero si Madam Chair Mona, na-correct nila. So, during 7 years, wala kayong ginawa. And they're making 350,000 a month pension nila. Tapos yun lang, hindi nila makorek yun for 7 years, walang ginawa. Meanwhile, we suffer. And we keep on blaming Meralco, Dios, and even NGCP na dapat ang ERC ang gumagawa ng trabaho. Yun lang, Mr. Chair, I'll give the floor to
Yes, Congressman Fernandez.
With all due respect, with Congressman Presley De Jesus. Mr. Arnon, kailan ba kayo naging commissioner?
Kapag
Kailan po kayo naging commissioner?
August 2011.
August 2011.
Yes.
And the problem started when? Kasi alam
Before
nyo,
2011.
kasi po, para balik uli natin, yung katulad na in-explain ko kanina. Ang regulatory periods, Mr. Chairman, ano po yan, sequential yan eh. Ordinal numbers nga eh. Interconnected eh. Kapag nagsimula ka ng mali, doon sa second regulatory period, sama-sama na yan, dire-diretso na yan, dire-diretso na. But, if you will only see, all the documents pertaining to the different exchanges of letters coming from the commissioners, coming from the Meralco, coming from the NGCP, and the actions that was taken by the ERC, makikita po nyo yung deliberate, yung pag-iwas para magkaroon ng reset. 13 years for NGCP and 15 years for Meralco. What do you expect? Sigurado, ayaw talagang magkaroon ng reset. Yun ang katotohanan dito. But kanina nga sinasabi ko, let's not blame anymore anyone, no? Let's move forward. Kasi nakikita naman natin, there are intention to refund. Nakita ko naman mayroong refund pero hindi complete. Hindi siya complete. Because walang proper reset. Walang proper rate reset. Pinagtatakpan nila through confirmation process, which is devoid of any documents pertaining to the actual computation to arrive doon sa tinatawag po nating taripa. Kung wala kang pagbabasihan doon sa gagawin mong charge sa consumer, paano naging methodology yun? Wala confirmation process that was approved for the lapse period, 2016 up to now. Nag-base lang sila doon sa tinatawag na i-confirm na natin yung 1 peso and 38 centavos na inaprubahan nila ng 2011 hanggang ngayon, kahit sa lapse period, dapat yan ang gamitin natin. And I think, yun ang sinasabi ko, nag-fail ang ARC dito. And, wag na po nating, ako, nakikita ko, Mr. Chairman, moving forward, kailangan natin magkaroon ng commitment from these people that will really have to have a methodology that will cater the actual computation of the rate for our people. As a matter of fact, Mr. Chairman, maibabalik naman po Ang importante lamang yung lapse period na kinonsider nila na ito na ang taripa, pero walang pinagbabasihang mga assets, walang pinagbabasihang tamang WACC, yun ang ginawa nilang computation. Yun ang ginawa nilang presyo. In other words, Mr. Chairman, 1 peso and 38 centavos, yun na. Yun ay ipasok natin sa lapse period. Is that just and reasonable? Hindi po reasonable yun. And in violation of Section 43 of the EPIRA and also Section 23 to give consumer electricity in the least cost manner.
The Chairman?
Yes, before I recognize the Honorable Rufus, isang tanong lang po. Sino po ang tumatawag ng reset? Kaninong call ang reset?
Sir Chair, if I may answer.
Yes, please, Madam.
Sa isang regular pong proseso, hindi na po talaga nasa rules po yung timeline po ng reset. Nakakasa na po yun dapat.
Hindi, tama po. Pero syempre, kahit naman nakalagay dyan, kung wala naman tumatawag, sino may obligasyon na tawagin ng reset?
ERC po, yung sa issues paper na
So,
simula.
dapat nilagay po ninyo yun sa calendar ninyo.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I have read the RTWR and RDWR. According to RDWR, 18 months prior to the statutory deadline, kailangan ng regulated entity like Meralco and NGCP will file a position paper. 18 months prior. Ang tanong, did you file 18 months prior to the statutory deadline ng position paper? Kapag hindi kayo nag-file in accordance with their own rules na ginawa ng ERC, then may violation ang regulated
kailangan
entity.
muna mag-file muna sila
ng position paper.
bago tatawagin ng
Yes,
reset.
because it is, yung rules po kasi,
Is
Mr.
that the
Chairman,
proper procedure?
Mr. Chairman, ang proper procedure, the rules RTWR and RTWR are being published. Pag pinablish po yan, makikita na ng mga regulated entity. At sasabihin, 18 months before, kailangan mag-apply na tayo, kailangan may position paper tayo. And then, they will conduct a public hearing. At pag nag-conduct sila ng public hearing, makikita nila lahat doon. And then, lahat ng regulatory asset base, the weighted average cost of capital, the depreciation and everything will be put into order. Ang problem, Mr. Chairman, kung hindi sila magbibigay ng position paper 18 months prior, there is already a violation.
The Honorable Rufus Rodriguez is
Mr.
recognized.
Chairman, the ERC is mandated every 4 years for DUs to set the regulatory reset proceedings. The problem is, you can see the NGCP and the Meralco waiting for these results because this particular process, because if there are no rules in the case of the DUs and the rules on the setting of the wheeling rate, there can be no process. They cannot submit a position paper if there is none. The problem is here is Meralco, ERC has failed. They have failed to timely conduct and perform regulatory reset. And Commissioner Non was there during all this time. And then there has been no reset. How can we blame the regulated agencies like NGCP and the Meralco, the Group A, Meralco, Sipalco from the City of Golden Friendship, and the others, when there is no regulatory process? So therefore, in fact, ready always, and they have also filed when there is one, then they do it. Mr. Chairman, we are barking up the wrong tree if we are going to fault the regulated agencies like the NGCP and the Meralco. It is ERC. If there is any agency that we should fault here, and that's why if Chairman Dan Fernandez saying there is therefore, the consumers are therefore have the raw deal here, it's not the fault. That's why the regulated agencies, they wait for this ESG. May I ask our chairperson, did we have really the process conducted for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th regulatory period?
Chairman Mona Lisa, you are recognized.
Mr. Chair, we are conducting the
On the fifth.
processes now.
Yes.
4th and 5th po sa NGCP and 5th
Fifth,
for
yeah.
Meralco.
Kasi lapse period na nga eh. Lapse period meaning, Mr. Chairman, that there is failure of the ERC and that's why they cannot comply. That is the actuality of this. But in spite of that, there was a IAC and there is a interim average rate. Meralco has already refunded a total of 48 billion because on their own, they came out and say, we would like to make sure already that there's already a interim rate, average rate. And so Meralco is always waiting for the regulatory agency. In spite of that, during the lapse period, they were the ones who were able to have the interim average rate, and the ruling of the ERC was for Meralco to refund, correct? They were made to refund. How much was refunded by Meralco in spite of the failure of ERC to be able to put up this particular regulatory reset process? How much? Nagbayad lang Meralco sa mga consumers.
Maybe we can ask representative from Meralco. Magkano po yung binayaran ninyo?
Your Honor, we refunded a total of around 48 billion pesos.
Billion.
Yes, Your Honor, as a result of the declaration by the ERC of the original lapse period, consisting of 7 years. And we are proposing to refund again another about 19 billion pesos for the latest, as a result of the latest declaration by the ERC that the 3 years of the original 5 RP is declared lapse period.
So, who was the chairperson at that time of ERC? The one who should be
Chairman.
calling the reset.
Ay, marami na pong chairs po pinagdaanan po. I think the first period was Chair Ducot, and then there was Chair Salazar, and then Chair Agnes.
No, but I think the issue here is not the first, the second. The issue is the fourth. Na hindi, third. Oh, so, third and the fourth. So, sino ang chairperson nung third and fourth? Because yung first tsaka second, they did their job. So, yung third at tsaka fourth, I think we should invite them.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman.
I would think that the real issue here is this. Who is to blame? No, we cannot blame the new collegial body of the ERC, no? Because as according to Chairperson De Malanta, 2022 lang siya. So therefore, kung nag-reset na kayo, hindi ba ngayon, Chairperson, nag-reset po kayo. Therefore, kung nag-reset kayo, palagay nyo, nagkamali ba yung previous? Hindi, kung malaman, nagkamali ba yung previous? Sabihin nyo.
Kaya
Sabihin nyo, nagkamali ba yung
Yes,
previous?
Ma'am, sino ito?
Mr. Chairman, if I may add, no, para at least maging transparent tayo sa fair, no?
Yeah.
Kasi meron tayong mga carry over ng mga commissioners from the last batch of commissioners. And they were part of the decision making during that time na ito ang naging resulta. At until right now, yung kinu-question po natin na decision nila para sa lapse period, again and again, sasabihin po natin, Mr. Chairman, talagang mali ang confirmation process that they have adopted. So siguro, tanungin natin, Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Maceda.
Oh, yes, si Commissioner Maceda.
Would you like to...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Siguro po to put the circumstances in proper context po, no? We need to remember that as far back as 2013, and this is November 2013, the Commission already issued a notice extending the deadline of submission of comments on the issues paper. So nag-post na po ang Commission noong 2013 pa lang. Comnon should have mentioned that earlier kasi time po nila yun eh. Naumpisahan na po yung proseso nung pang 2013. Nagtuloy-tuloy po yung proseso na yan hanggang sa umabot po nung around 2016, last quarter of 2016, na yung commission at that time directed Meralco actually to publish the draft rules for the fourth RP. I was waiting for Comnon to mention these circumstances eh. So, pinag-utusan, hindi ho nangyari, no? And there were issues raised by Meralco. It's not my position now to say kung tama ang dating komisyon o ang Meralco. That was before our time. But I was hoping that was mentioned by Comnon because doon po nagsimula lahat nitong mga backlogs na ito. Hindi nakapag-reset.
That's the reason why we wanted to know who was the chairperson at that time. Maybe he or she has a valid reason for not scheduling the reset. Or if
Opo.
maybe Commissioner Non
Mr. Chairman,
can ventilate this
Mr. Chairman,
issue to the
it is a matter that is so
Congressman
important. Ano?
Fernandez.
Ako, we're not blaming anybody, especially the regulated entity. But of course, katulad na nabanggit po ni Commissioner Maceda.
Oh, I have to blame somebody.
Wait, Mr. Chairman. Kasi nga, ang feeling ko, we are, well, sinasabi nyo, we're barking on the wrong tree. Because sumulat ito, I have a copy, nung sulat ng chairperson ng ERC, si Agnes de Banadera, nung July 2019, that yun na nga po na i-publish. But they never publish it eh. Yun ang problem. Is one of, yung isang mga requirements para yung rates, yung rule for rate setting, mag-start na. But because the Meralco never published it, and at the same time, noong 2011, meron ding sulat ang ERC na inuutusan sila to follow the rules and procedures on the asset valuation. But ang problem, hindi rin sila nag-reply. Will you kindly confirm this? Sino bang nasa panahon ng si Commissioner Non? Can you kindly confirm that the Commission ordered the Meralco to comply with the rules of procedures on the valuation of their assets because merong ang mali doon sa valuation. So did you done that na talagang inutusan sila?
Yeah, I would like to thank Commissioner Maceda for reminding. Actually, as she said, the fourth regulatory period actually should have started in 2016. And during our time, the process started 18 months before, which means 2013. So the position paper was there, the karoon ng mga hearings, and then we completed the amended rules for distribution wheeling rate sometime in 2016. But before it could be put into implementation, it has to be published for purposes of there is a legal term for to be in effect. So the order then was for Meralco and PEPOA to have it published, but it was not published even after repeated demands until nagkaroon ng bagong regulatory period in 2019. But before that, 2016, the ERC actually went into a internal problem. It started with the chairman then was Salazar. Chairman Salazar, after Ducot. Okay? But in 2016, we had an internal problem where one of our directors committed suicide. And nagkaroon ng investigations within ERC, what is the involvement of who, the chairman, and everybody. And that really threw up all the schedules. We have been called for investigation in the NBI, Congress, Senate, and there was a time when all the commissioners were even suspended for 3 months. So that really disrupted all the schedules from 2016 until the chair, Agnes de Banadera, was appointed in 2017. So that's basically where we could start again under a new chairmanship, Agnes de Banadera, sometime in August or September of 2017. The disruption in 2016 was really a big blow as far as the Queen's is concerned, because practically most of the time we could not do anything because of disruption. But the reset itself for the fourth regulatory period was started, but it was not implemented because of the non-publication of the rules in 2016.
Yes, thank you.
May I continue? I am not yet finished, Mr. Chairman. So let us ask the Meralco to answer the allegation that you did not publish what was required of you. Is that part of the reset process?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I
Yes,
respond?
Attorney Valles.
Yes, to clarify lang po, totoo ho na meron nilabas na sulat ang ERC through then officer in charge Commissioner noon na directing Meralco, not only Meralco but also all distribution utilities, no, PEPOA, to publish the fourth RP. But as we have relayed, sinabi po namin kay Commissioner noon yun through our various letters to them na meron kaming mga issues doon sa fourth RP. And as part of the constitutional right of every person like Meralco to exercise its due process, we raised those issues before the ERC and we were waiting for the ERC to resolve it. In the meantime, nag-file po kami ng sulat sa ERC, nagre-request kami ng meeting para mapag-usapan namin yung mga issues na yon, which Commissioner noon in his reply to us said na ina-acknowledge niya yung issues na ni-raise namin at he set the meeting, no, on a particular date para mapag-usapan daw namin yung issues or yung mga clarification or reconsideration na hinihingi namin doon sa rules. No, unfortunately, hindi po nangyari yung meeting na yon dahil nga sa akin pong palagay, dahil po yun nung nagkaroon na sila ng internal problems sa ERC. Doon na ho natapos yun at magmula noon wala na ho kaming narinig sa ERC after po nung huling sulat na yon. That was in 2017 and 2022 until 2022. Between 2017 to 2022, 5 years, wala hong communication sa amin ng ERC kung magre-reset pa kami o hindi na.
Mr. Chairman, clearly,
Macedo,
let me just follow up with this.
Yes.
Clearly, you wrote for them to publish. They said, and they wrote to you many letters, that there are issues. Why will the Meralco and the PEPOA, why will they publish something that they are questioning? You see? Now, here is our acting commissioner, Mr. Non. He was there. He was the one who sent those, and he was the one who received the questions. That is the right of every regulated agency. If there's an order to publish, why will you publish something that you have issues about? And that is why they asked a meeting with Mr. Non, and Mr. Non said, we'll have a meeting. Nothing happened after that. Maybe no, Mr. Non, why you did not call that meeting? Yan.
I do not know why Attorney Valles has kept on telling my name. I hope you can produce the letter that says, and then, no. But even then, I cannot commit the commission on something that is I call this an unbanked thing, So whatever was the decision, I think one of the things that made it long is because of these questions and these issues. The hearings and the process became too long.
No, the hearings became too long because of the failure of ERC, including you, Mr. Non, who was there. And you should have been the one who should make sure to make them be penalized and then proceed with the receipt process. Walang nangyari, Mr. Chairman. No meeting with Mr. Non. As testified now, he was the one who said, let's have a meeting. No meeting at all. So that is why it is now many, many years, plus the 7 years, we had more years. And that is why this is the problem now. And to blame the NGCP who are just willing to go into this reset process because it's also for them. For Meralco, a reset process may mean a higher rate. It may also mean a lower rate, but it has to be done, Mr. Chairman. And just to correct, the present rate now of Meralco is not 1.38 centavos. It is already 1.35. Wala na yun, Chairman, dan ang 1.38. Wala na yun. 52 na because there was a decision of the ERC. So that is why now the rate is lower than the 1.38 that you are saying. Just to make the matters on record. Now, let me proceed, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, parang correct kasi what I'm trying to say a while ago.
Yes, I yield to my good friend.
Yeah, kasi 138 na sinasabi ko from 2011 to 2022. ang 1.38. Then they applied, nag-applied po sila ng 1.35 ang naging application nila, which was approved by the IRC. Yun po yung aking intention kanina.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, with the indulgence of, are you through, Congressman
Not yet.
Lupos? Not yet.
Because
I have many
I was the one
points.
on the floor.
Just one
I
interject
extend the floor
for-
yet again to...
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Please
Just-
continue,
Just
Congressman.
one quick
Dizon.
question no, with regard to the fifth regulatory period of Meralco. During the franchise application, no, I even asked this, what will happen to the fifth regulatory period? They answered, it will start July 1, 2022. So, ano nangyari? Maybe ERC, isn't it ERC, dapat yung fifth regulatory period nila mag-start ng July 1. Kasi during franchise nila, tinanong ko yan eh, what happened? Bakit? Was it suspended? Bakit hindi natuloy?
Mr. Chair, meron po silang final na application for the 5th RP sometime, I think May na kayo nag-file. May 2 months extension pong binigay. So, hindi po talaga, so by the time they filed, ilang buwan na lang po yun. Tapos po, we had to resolve the issue regarding the interim rate and the awat. Kasi po, merong motion for reconsiderations that were filed. So, all these related issues needed to be resolved by the Commission before we move forward on the 5th regulatory period.
So when you say it has to be resolved by the Commission, nagbotohan ba kayo doon? So anong score ng boto?
3-2 po.
Yun yung gusto ko na malaman kasi. So, may process, nagkabotohan. So, etong problema, Mr. Chair, naapektuhan na naman tayo because of the botohan na yan. So, I think next time, if we have another chance, na can we invite those dissenting siguro yung kung ano yun, lahat ng commissioner? Kasi nagbotohan eh. It's very important na kung naipasa yun, hindi na-suspend yung PIP RP nila, sana nagkaroon tayo ng reset na naman. So, nagkaroon tayo ng botohan. So, it's high time na siguro, mamaya, no, during the plenary, yung inyong, ang inyong, ano ba yun? Yung, sige, Mr. Chair, yun na lang, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
May I continue,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman?
please continue, Congressman Lupos.
Yes. Chairman Dan talked about the WACC, that is the weighted average of cost of capital. You see, Mr. Chairman, the last approved WACC, and again, ERC is the, approved by ERC, was on the 3rd regulatory period, and they set a WACC of 14.97. Mr. Chairman, in this particular case, this is much higher than the other, this is lower than the other 18 private DUs. If you can see the figures, Mr. Chairman, ina-allow lang sa kanila, yung weighted average of cost capital is 14.97. The second regular period for Group B was 16.27 as the WACC. And then also, we can see here the second RP WACC for Group C, 15, ina-allow sila. Meralco, only 14.9. And from that time, Mr. Chairman, in 2011, the third RP, there has been no approved determination of WACC by the ERC. In other words, Mr. Chairman, we really urge the ERC to do all of this, and that is why Chairman Mona Lisa is here, and that is why we are very glad that you are now trying to have the reset by February for the NGCP. For the DUs, it will be June, correct? See? So, it will now solve all of this problem of the lapse area. We should also note, Mr. Chairman, that the current rate of Meralco now is among the record will show that the Meralco's 1.35 centavos is the 6th lowest among the 18 private DUs. And then, if we will talk about performance of Meralco, I will end here. The internationally recognized standard metrics to measure, because you're trying always to point to Meralco, then the NGCP, on Meralco first. The international recognized standard metrics to measure performance of DUs distribution utilities are what you call SAIFI, SAIFI, or B, SAIDI. Now, what is SAIFI? SAIFI, Mr. Chairman, is the system average interruption frequency. Ayan. What is the frequency of the Meralco in terms of this disruption of energy supply? And then SAIDI is the system average interruption duration index, number of minutes. Because you have to put the proper perspective. We're always pointing at Meralco. But look at this, Mr. Chairman. In 2023, because the records are for 2023, Meralco achieved a SAIFI or average interruption frequency of only 1.19 times. Only one time. Plus 0.19, not even 2 times for 2023. And that is why we are all served here, including those who are listening, that we only have 1.19 interruption. Now, let's go to minutes for 2023. So we will see whether we should penalize the Meralco. Mr. Chairman, in terms of SAIDI, that's number of minutes, the number of total minutes in 2023 is only 123 minutes, less than 2 hours. So what are we talking about? Why are we penalizing them when they have excellent service based on this? And therefore, this kind of performance of Meralco is at the top in terms, Mr. Chairman, of reliability, performance compared to other local private DOs, including, they are much better, including Veco, Visayas, Davao Light, and my city, Sipalco, the city of Golden Friendship. They are much better in terms of less interruption, less minutes being done. In fact, the performance of Meralco, Mr. Chairman, are better than those of the Pacific Gas and Electric Company, which serves Northern and Central California. So that is what it is, Mr. Chairman. And yet we're pointing and pointing. In fact, those that were brought about again here were fully ventilated in the Committee on Franchise, which heard Chairman Danny, and we heard everybody, and the body approved the renewal of the Meralco franchise. And in the case of NGCP, it is very clear in the hearings of Winter franchise, no violation at all by NGCP. No violation on the Constitution, no violation on the statutes, the anti-dummy law, no violation with franchise and its concession agreement. With that, I end, my dear Chairman of the Committee on Good Government. Let us have the author. The invitation for Mr. Pangilinan, I have a copy. We are not talking about franchises. No. Because we are not in good government. The allegation here, and I will read, the privileged speech required the effects of the failure to conduct rate reset by the Energy Regulatory Commission. Sila, yung failure nila to conduct rate, and then here it is. The confirmation through a process. Here is where the good government comes in. Because we talk about jurisdiction here. And you have the jurisdiction, Mr. Chairman. Why? Because it says here, ito na, probable involvement of government officials, whether through negligence or fraud, and possible connivance of the other government market, of the other market players. And so therefore, let us have some proof. What is the proof of this connivance? Because they will all be liable to the Ombudsman for anti-graft and corrupt practices. The ERC and the private together under the concept of conspiracy, all of them will be recipient of cases and they go to jail. So may we know from the author, what is this possible connivance? Huh? So that we will be, we shall proceed with the good government and be able to have a ruling on this. Yes. Yan.
Thank you so much. Well, the very reason why we referred this privilege speech is to see yung regulatory failure. Actually, yun talagang negligence talaga ng ERC. But still also, we have to find out yung mga pagkukulang din ng ating mga regulated entity. We have seen also some mga failures on their part as well. But accordingly, hindi ko naman natin sila biniblame ngayon dito. And we're not talking about the franchise anymore. We're talking about the reset. This is about the reset. This is about the the rate reset that is guaranteed by the rules of the distribution and the transmission setting rates. And kanina po nabanggit ni Congressman Rufus Rodriguez about the weighted average cost of capital, which is much higher doon sa mga DUs that kasama sa mga first entry, second entry, third entry. And kung kukumpara mo talaga ang weighted average cost of capital ng Meralco to the others, talagang malaki po ang difference because alam naman natin ang Meralco, 39 cities sila, 72 municipalities, and they cater the output ng ating pong 55% ng ating pong electricity output nanggagaling po sa Meralco. And siguro we will be asking also yung ERC. But having said that, Congressman Rufus, kasi ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito is the procurement of the consultant na si Romulo Neri, that according sa kanilang result ng kanilang pong commission, ay 8.97% na lang yung kanilang weighted average cost of capital because of all the parameters, indicators that says that from 14.97% is 8.97% na lang. At they commissioned it. They commissioned the nung 2018 and the result was 8.97%. Now, ang tanong ay mahirap talagang malaman ang tunay na value ng ating pong tariff sa ating mga commissioners at sa ating consumers kung yung ating pong reset process is being abused by those sitting members of the ERC, especially dito sa lapse period. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito is the 2016 up to 2025 na kung saan nag-decision po na i-consider yung lapse period na yan. A while ago, yan ang sinasabi ko. And that's the reason why I am trying to make pakiusap sa mga commissioner na ayusin na po itong lapse period. Now, ang tanong ko kay Ma'am Mona Lisa, having said that the 2016 up to 2025 was considered as a lapse period and confirmation process was the one adopted as a methodology. Yun na ba ang final ninyo?